Hello, Faith family. How are you today? I am Mari from Faith in the Villages, and I am so glad that you have taken the time to come and see my channel again today. My channel is about encouragement and family and faith in our Savior, Jesus Christ. And I live in the villages, and I like to share both of those things. So I like that you took the time to come see me and see my channel. I'm just getting it started. So if you can, like and subscribe, and please comment on the things that you see in my videos and tell me things that you would like to know about. Today is Sunday. It is the 5th of July. It is the day after our 4th of July, of course. And I hope that you had a great time with whatever you did yesterday, if it was barbecuing or just being with friends and family. I hope you had a good time. As a military wife, of course, the 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day, a lot of those very precious days are very special to me because I have had a soldier who's deployed. And so, and my son, my family are all military people. So on those days, um, we reflect on what the sacrifices are for our country, what we do every day, our soldiers and sailors, airmen and Marines, Space Coast, and all the above, who have served our country with honor. And so we take a lot of pride in our flag. It's very, very important to us. We have our flag out all year round. And so yesterday was a very special day. We didn't do a lot, but we really did take time out to be grateful that we live in the country that we do. So I wanted to take time today again to honor you, military folks, and say thank you. Thank God for what you do. And thank God for your service. It means a lot to me and to my family. Moving on, I look like such a waif as I tend to do when I'm on these cameras. You know, I have felt that transparency, honesty, integrity, openness, by having a YouTube channel, I am like many, probably thousands and thousands of other people who have given this YouTube channel thing a lot of thought and a lot of prayer in how would I want to share something about myself that anybody else would want to hear, that anybody else would care. And the more that I watched YouTube and different types of channels, from young people to older people to people whose lives are things that I would like to know, it helped me to understand what I could give to YouTube. And so I'm very honored when someone subscribes or they watch my videos because it's really a blessing. I chose to make my channel a Christian-based channel, faith-based channel, because I didn't see a lot of that. I'm sure that's really growing. But I wanted people to know in my season of life, that's over 50, all are welcome, but some of the things that we talk about, some of the things that we feel and go through, and being in the place as wonderful as the villages, I wanted to combine all of that into a channel that was relatable. And so being perfect on screen was not something I wanted to relate. I wanted to be real. I wanted to be authentic. Um, my husband and I attend a wonderful church here, and that is something, again, I will be going over in later videos. And if you hear me repeat myself again, I am over 50. So there's that. But we attend a wonderful church, and I'll be showing you that soon. And so one of the ministries that I do, and if you're not familiar with that word, ministry is something that you feel led to do, led to whether it's in a church or out of a church. You can be a ministry leader anywhere you want to be. Helping someone and kindness is a ministry too. But one of the ministries that I do in my church is parking lot duty. And since it is Florida and it is very hot, by the time I get out of the waving people around to where they're supposed to go, this is what I look like. And that's okay because it's all about Jesus. It's not about me or what I look like. But it's an honor to be able to be people's first face when they come to our church and let them know that they are feeling welcome. And no matter what faith background or where they've come from, all are welcome, not just in my church, but I hope in my heart as well. So that's something that I do. I'm also part of the women's ministry team. Being military, and those of you that are military, you know that as soon as you go to a military destination, you plug in real quick and you find either post church or base church or something that's close by. You don't have lots of time to make decisions of where you might or want to go. You might listen to a friend or somebody might invite you. But most of the time, depending on if you're stationed stateside or overseas, you might go to Post Chapel, which is wonderful and it serves a great purpose. But you might not get deep into it like you would like to do as far as Bible studies and things like that. So, one of the things about being retired, you get a chance if you have not been lucky enough to be in the same place for 10 years or 20 years. Haven't had that blessing to be able to be in a church and grow for years and years and years. And so that's one of the very important things, that when we came to the Villages, we wanted to look for a church that was not a building. It was a family, and it was a Bible-based family full of imperfect, not perfectly beautiful, know-it-all Christian people that had all the answers. And then if you sat in somebody's seat or parked in their parking space, you'd feel alienated. And that was not what I was looking for. And so I prayed, and I went to a couple of churches and places that I felt, that I had been invited to, and prayed, which is very important, praying for a place to serve and a place to be a part of, and not to critique, but to grow and to learn about God with other people in our same season. So the dynamics of the Villages, there are many places to worship here. There are many churches, whatever religion that you might affiliate yourself with. Or if you just say, I would just like to find a non-affiliated religious Christian or Catholic, and I don't mean to say that, I'm just listing different types of churches that are here. There is something for everyone here. There's all types. And that was something that was very important to us. And so the Villages has not just buildings, but you will find here the community is very strong with the church. So there's lots and lots of charities here on top of your church. So if that is something also that you've been considering wanting to do now that you are retired and spending your days serving others, the selection and choices are endless. And if you'd like, let me know, and I can tell you of different ones and different videos here that we'll have. We have everything from military, all types of military charities, giving not just what you would think of the VFW, and those are nearby also. The largest VFW in the country is here in the Villages, surprise, surprise. But there are many other charities that would be outside of what you would think, what I thought a retirement community would have. Because the Villages is nothing like any retirement community you could imagine. And if anybody's watching me and they're in their 30s and their 40s and they're thinking, that is the last place I want to be, is a retirement community where I see old people shuffling around. This is nothing like that. I would encourage you to go to thevillages.com, check out the website, and look around. One of the first times that we came here, we were in the squares. And this is a funny story. We were walking around in one of the squares, one of the little areas that has the music. And we were walking on, they have a radio station too, which is really cool. And they were playing, I think it was Beastie Boys or something like that. And I was FaceTiming with my then 35-year-old son. And he said, Mom, what is that music they're playing in your square? I thought this was for old people. And I said, what? And he goes, that's the Beastie Boys. And I said, oh. And so when you put your mind around what this place is and then add it times 100, it's still not what you're going to see when you come down here. You're going to be amazed. But one of the wonderful things is they do go outside of the box. They do think of things. One of the other things they have here that is such a blessing is what they have, Camp Villages. So Camp Villages is when your grandkids come. Say they come for the summer, they come for a week, they come for a spring break, they come at Thanksgiving break. They might get bored. I don't know how they would get bored in Florida, 40 minutes from Disney World, but they might. The Villages offers a wonderful, and we have volunteered for them, so I know how organized these groups are in classes. They give all kinds of classes for your grandkids to go to, but grandma and grandpa go with them. And so you can either volunteer or you can just join in on the fun. They have done everything from write letters to the troops to real physical baseball and swimming classes, and also outreach in the neighborhood where they would go take the kids and they would go to a senior center, a little bit higher level where they would need more help, and they would take the kids there. That was another thing that really, really impressed me when I moved to the Villages, that was not something that I would think about. It wouldn't be something I would even think. It was outside of the box. It was wonderful that they would think of our grandkids and our kids, our adult kids, and do things like that. These are classes fill up so fast in the summertime, especially, and they are so well organized. They are so top notch with their supplies. There's no skimping on what the kids receive, the gifts. They play games with the kids get things, and it's accountability too for us grandparents. We get to go and we get to see what's going on, we participate. So it's wonderful. And so these things to me were blessings. These things were things I was looking for, that my husband and I were looking for, in finding a place to retire that not only had golf courses and tennis and pickleball and pools, but actually gave back to the community. And in doing that as a Christian, it fills my soul. One of the things here also is that there are many, many walking paths. And I mentioned that before. I probably will show you some. And they're a wonderful, safe, beautiful place for prayer, self reflection, walking, listening to your Bible, just being with God, seeing His beauty, and seeing around you. And I have had other people say to me, well, you have a little money. That's how come you can live in the villages. I want to quench that really quickly. The villages offers homes from under $200,000 to millions. So wherever you are, there's a house for you. And they don't put the bigger houses in one spot and the little houses in another spot. They don't do that. And so you can look at a neighborhood and you can find a house in that neighborhood that is within your price range. It's a wonderful way of letting people of all different levels of monetary become in together and become friends. And so that is something I wanted to share today with you. And I hope that you will take time to ask me questions about what you'd like to ask me questions about the villages from a Christian's perspective, or just if you'd like to see some particular area. I took a drive yesterday. So I did show you a little bit about what was going on in the villages. They're growing exponentially, and they're growing because people want to move here. They want to be here. They want to be a part of this community. And every time I go away, I think I told you guys I had a sick grandson, and so I had to head out. Yeah, that was my airport video. Every time I leave, I want to come back here because I just feel such a peace living here. And my church family is my family now. They don't replace my kids, my grandkids, but they are my family. And that is something that I really appreciate. So I'd like to know about your church. If you're thinking about moving here or you're not, tell me about your church. Tell me about it, the things that you like about it and the things maybe that you would like to see changed. And tell me how the Spirit moves where you attend and how you feel. If you're transitioning and you're thinking about things that grandmas and grandpas think about, and you have a little bit of, soul searching to do, let me know in the comments. I would appreciate it. And so thank you guys. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. We'll see you again soon. Take care.